Hello everybody, my name is Atlas, and welcome. I'm back to another video. Over the past week or so, I have confronted my deepest, darkest fear. Something so terrifying that even mentioning its name is enough to send me to a psychiatric hospital. It took an unfathomable amount of mental strength, more than the minds of every Steins Gate fan on Earth combined. But I'm proud to say that I beat this fear. That fear, of course, being Q-Force. About maybe a year ago or so, this show was the talk of the internet. For like 24 hours. The trailer for Q-Force had just dropped, and it was an absolute abomination. It was so bad, in fact, that for the 24 hours this show is in the YouTube news cycle, the LGBTQ plus community and the homophobes declared a temporary truce. It was sort of like the Christmas truce of 1912, but instead of celebrating a joyful Christmas, we would just laugh at this fucking idiotic trailer. Anyways, I finally got around to watching this thing, something no human being with any sanity left at all would even dream of attempting. I have to say, it wasn't that horrible. The operative word being that. And before we get into this video, I want to say that there will be spoilers. Unmarked spoilers, because no human on Earth cares about the plot of Q-Force being fucking spoiled to them. The first episode is incredibly rough, almost as painful as being strapped to some deranged torture device from the year 1200 AD. One of the very first sights you are greeted to during this episode is the sight of two uncensored nudist German tourists staying at the main protagonist's house. Why would any producer in their right mind subject their audience to this misery right off the bat? But, of course, the nudity in this show is only just beginning. Now, in episode 1, we basically learn about the past of the main protagonist, who essentially was supposed to graduate at the top of his class in training for the AIA, which is basically the real-world equivalent of the CIA. On the podium, at his graduation ceremony, he declares that he is gay, and then immediately the AIA chooses a different top graduate in the middle of the ceremony, and that new top graduate is Buck, who is straight. This seems pretty fucking illegal, since canonically Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed, but then again, when has the CIA ever given two shits about the law? Now, after graduating, Steve Merriweather, who I'll be calling Mary just like everyone else in the show, for the sake of simplicity, is assigned his own unit in West Hollywood, instead of, somewhere important. Mary puts together his task force, and then it is not assigned a single mission for the next 10 years. Eventually, his group discovers a secret nuclear deal happening in West Hollywood, and the plot just kind of, takes off from there, whatever. Let's talk about the show's characters. Despite how horrible these characters are made to look in the teaser trailer, they're not too god-awful. Mary is your generic main character, not too much personality besides being gay. Buck is like a cocktail of every bad straight person stereotype ever, and he's probably named Buck because half the time he's on fucking screen, he's buck naked. Twink is pretty flamboyant and sometimes annoying, but I'd be lying if I said he didn't make me laugh from time to time. The operative phrase being from time to time. And Deb, basically a lesbian stereotype, but she definitely seems to be the most mature of the group, I guess. Now, the characters I've named so far are basically stereotypes from an older era of queer people. Very flamboyant, colorful, etc. I know a lot of gay people because I'm queer, and no one I know acts remotely like any one of these characters. The only character who resembles this newer generation of queers is Stat. She's like pretty emo, she drinks fucking Mountain Dew, incredibly tech-savvy, and is very sarcastic and unenthusiastic most of the show. This makes her, by far, the best character in the show. That is as good as this show's character writing gets, dude. That is the pinnacle. She's the only character who even starts to deviate from these fucking stereotypes. Obviously, this show isn't meant to be something super serious. Just mainly some gay stereotypes being flamboyant spies and stuff, which is fine. The humor can range from pretty funny to just no. The plot of the story, nothing special. Mostly it's just like a delivery device for the characters getting themselves into silly situations. There's personally way too much nudity for my taste in the show. Like, almost every single fucking episode in this show has some form of fucking nudity in it, bro. This show shouldn't be taken as some sort of profound story about who gay people are, because these are just stereotypes meant to get a laugh from people. Most characters' personalities are just completely derived from their sexuality, and they'd be horrible characters in just about any show. Here, they're not that horrible. Once again, operative word being that. I also really would have loved to have seen, a bi or a pan character in here. Because, we fucking exist, bruh. We're part of the fucking community too, as well as trans people. But anyways, as far as the show's audience goes, I would say it's definitely not for everyone. I would even dare to go as far as to say it's not for anyone at all. Obviously, it's targeted at gay people, but I think this really will only resonate with gay people over the age of, 40. This is not a show where there are good life lessons about being who you are for people who are queer. It's just a shitpost from some middle-aged gays and lesbians, and I'm going to rate it as such. So I'm giving Q-Force a 4.5 out of 10. Watch this show at your own risk. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing and leaving a like on this video. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all later.